Everybody, welcome to the show. We're back another week, bringing you some awesome takes, mostly from me, very few from Hookstead. This time we are joined by Guillaume. It's very exciting.
Hello,
We're happy to
hello
have
everyone.
you.
Thank you guys.
You
Thank you
just
for having me.
recovered from a little bit of illness. We're happy to have him back in the office.
Yeah, I was pulled off of my deathbed by Dr. Hookstead here.
Actually, people just were afraid for Hookstead after they saw how well I took down his arguments last time, and so they brought Guillaume in to help protect him a little bit.
Well, I got to be honest, that's actually true because I thought I was going to come in and smoke you. I was 100% unprepared and got my ass handed to me. So, you know what?
Wait, now I feel bad.
Props to me for admitting when I, just didn't prepare enough.
Yeah.
Didn't watch enough game tape, didn't scout it.
No
and
game tape.
got wrecked.
But
So.
props to you for being the underdog of the century because nobody expected this.
Hey,
You were like
I am the Golden Knights.
You were like the USA in the Miracle on Ice game. I was the Soviet Union, and you did the unthinkable, and you beat me in a debate. So
The unthinkable.
Won't
It's unthinkable.
won't happen again.
I'm happy for you. You managed to work in a Miracle on Ice
Thank you.
reference immediately.
Thank you. All
In
right,
the first,
what do
30 seconds.
What do we got today?
And we're going to talk about Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber's Vogue interview. And we're going to talk about the Grammy Awards, which were on Sunday. So we'll start off with Hailey and Justin because I've been thinking about this like all day and all night.
And we have a new development with Justin Bieber. He's getting help for depression.
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys read the interview? Have you seen it?
There's one big part of the interview that sticks out, and it's his claim that he didn't have sex for over a year. And so, I mean, that to me was the big part.
It would be for you.
Maybe-
That would be the part that you would notice, of course.
Maybe the fib of the century that Bieber is told.
The fib of this. Why do you think it's a fib? Why do you think he's not telling the truth?
I don't believe that someone in Justin Bieber's shoes goes a year without having sex. No man can withstand dozens and dozens of models, countless models, just throwing themselves at him.
Are
Okay.
they throwing themselves at him though? Like he's a kind of greasy looking dude. Like he's sort of gross.
But
valid.
he's still
valid.
He's still a very wealthy young superstar celebrity. So yeah, I think they are.
Okay, no, my question is, why would he lie about that? Like, why would he say that he's not having sex
He's doing this whole
if he is?
kind of like rebrand thing. You know, I'm going to church now. I'm not, this degenerate. I got, Haley Baldwin. I'm going to convince her to marry me, and I'm just this better, classier, upgraded guy. And I'm just telling you, a lot of that might be true, but him not having sex for a year, I just don't believe it.
Wait, you think it's impossible for someone to go a whole year without having sex? Like, what about people that have moral and like religious views?
There's plenty of people who go years without having sex, and men who just don't have the opportunity to have sex. Justin Bieber can have sex with pretty much whoever he wants, whenever he wants. And so
you think that if a woman offers up sex to a man, he just has to take it. He can't possibly say no.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if a really hot woman does it over and over, everyone breaks. It's like in Zero Dark 30 during the torture scene. Everyone breaks, bro. It's biology.
What if he's like not? What if he is isolating himself and he's trying to heal? Like, what if he became nihilistic because he said in the interview he said that he had sex problems. Like, for all we know, he actually had a sex addiction and it was making him unhappy.
Sex addiction is not real, which I've been very clear about.
Hot
Part, which is not. It might be if you're a woman, but it's definitely not real if you're a man.
Sex addiction has nothing to do with whether you're a woman or a man.
Any guy who claims he is a sex addict is just bragging about how much he gets laid. That's all he's doing. So if Bieber is now Bieber might have fit that category because I'm sure Bieber was running through models left and right at one point, or other women and celebrities. So once you live that life, I refuse to believe you ever come back from it. I just don't. Once you live in a mansion, you never stop living in mansions unless you lose all your money.
That's not true.
Unless it makes you unhappy. Unless it makes you really unhappy.
Living in a mansion makes people unhappy, just like
could.
being...
Yeah, sometimes materialism makes people unhappy.
Oh.
Let's talk about the fact that he's been successful since he was 13. So if women have been throwing themselves at him for that long, he's probably desensitized
But he
to
probably
it.
wasn't having women throw themselves at him when he was 13.
I bet
All right,
you
but
he
fine.
was.
5 years, 18. That's
When he
still.
was-
Yeah, I
how
mean,
old is he
still,
now?
that's...
When he was 18, he was probably, the opportunity presented itself. I think, what is it, is it Chris Rock who has maybe it's Dave Chappelle, but they have a very famous line of, you're only as faithful as the opportunity allows you to be when talking about presidents who've cheated on their wives.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a famous segment. It's a famous stand-up bit. And I'm not talking about cheating here, but men can only withstand so much pressure when it comes to the sex game. And I'm telling you, there's no way he did it. There's no way he went a year.
Let's put a little asterisk on that. Only beta men have no self-control when it comes to sexual urges. That is such like...
There's a difference between not having control of your sexual urges. That'd be like running around having sex in the office and stuff because you can't, or
like a sex addiction maybe?
Because you can't control it. There's a difference between just having a lot of sex because the opportunity is there.
Which is exactly what you're saying he did. You're saying he had the opportunity, and so there's no way he turned it down. Which would be no control over your sexual urges.
That's not true. It's only no control in theory if you don't want to do it and you do it anyways. If a Victoria's Secrets model walks up to Justin Bieber and is like, I want to have sex with you, and he's like, oh, she's really hot, she's a model, I want to have sex with her too. How's that not controlling your
but don't you think he's had, like, he could have a been there, done that type deal? You think he's only in sex with one?
I'm sure he's been there and done that thousands of times, but I'm just saying it's not possible.
He said in the interview, he said that he was having so much sex and he was thinking about his mom while he was doing it. He was thinking about how his mom said to respect women, and so he had to take drugs in order to not, like, hate himself because he was thinking about what his mom said during sex. If that was happening to you, don't you think you would say, man, I gotta take a break from sex. I gotta take a break.
Just because you have sex with women does not mean you disrespect women inherently.
But he was saying
that the implication of what his mother is apparently saying.
Well, okay, but if you just have sex with a woman just for having sex with a woman, that is very, I mean, if you don't care about her at all, you don't like, and she is assuming that like you're gonna care about her.
I don't think
that's like you're tripping up on a disrespectful situation.
If the woman that Justin Bieber pulls backstage, assuming he's ever done this, and I'm not saying he has, but we all know how groupies work. If that woman honestly thinks, Justin Bieber cares about her, she's delusional.
Okay, but then isn't it even worse then if he takes advantage of a delusional woman? I'm just saying he himself said what he was doing was disrespectful, but he was doing it anyway.
Well, that's a problem for him then. That's not a problem for men.
But that's why he took a break.
I just don't believe anyone can go from having that sexual appetite in life to just cold turkey not having for over a year.
But what about if it doesn't bring you happiness? Like you find yourself and it's making you unhappy.
There's a biology angle here, okay? There is. Like there's sexual needs of men and women, right?
Okay, but there's a difference between just filling your needs and then going crazy, and then it makes you unhappy because you have no love in your life. In your theory,
he didn't even fill his needs once in over a year.
In Hookstead's world, there's no such thing as love. There's only animal drive.
There is an animalistic sense to it. Look at animals in the wild. Look at wolves and other mammals, which is what we are, right? There's a sexual drive to them.
Okay, but we're mammals, but we also have things like philosophy, and we have brains, and sometimes if people find that a behavior that they're doing that maybe they have an urge for is making them unhappy,
sure,
they can be disciplined. Discipline is something that humans are capable of, believe it or not.
If you have the urge to have sex with someone, I'm not saying you have the urge to have a lot of sex, but once in 12 months.
Wait, are we talking about me personally?
No. I'm saying you as in like the broad general sense. If somebody has the urge to have sex once in a 12-month period and they're surrounded by women willing to engage in that activity, guess what?
Okay, what about priests and monks?
Okay, they're a fringe element. That's different.
Justin Bieber is a fringe element. He lives a life that most people won't ever experience.
That is totally different.
How's that different?
Because those monks and priests at no point in their lives were throwing massive ragers and getting with the hottest women on the planet.
You don't know that. I'm sure lots of priests
monks at one time were worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
No, but you don't think a nun was ever like, "Hey, throw me a bone"? Like
I don't think so. Isn't that kind of the big thing about being a nun is that you don't ever do that stuff?
Well, most of them don't, but I'm sure every once in a while there's one who's like, maybe I want to.
And we're assuming you're assuming here, you, Katrina, that monks and priests also aren't just banging on the down low.
Well, I'm sure a lot of them are, but I'm just saying the ones that actually take a celibacy vow and stick to it. Like, it is possible. There are people who do it. And, like, okay, so have you guys ever heard of John Gray? He wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. They're sex books, but they're communication books. But anyway, so he took a vow of celibacy for, like, I think it was like 3 years or something. And he didn't have any sex for 3 or however long it was. It was years.
Might as well just to cut his dick off then. Why not go all the way?
Because he was having so much sex beforehand, and he wanted to take a break and learn about relationships.
Yep.
And then when he finished, he got married. He's in love. He's got a great career talking about sex and educating people.
Yep. You know what I say to that? Bullshit. That is just complete nonsense to me.
Do you realize the mind games you're having to do to just not believe people when they tell you their stories?
I don't. I believe that it's possible for an ugly guy to go 3 years without. I don't know what he looks like, but yeah, I'm sure it's possible if women aren't throwing yourselves. Yeah, you can go 3 years without having sex. If you're Justin Bieber, not happen. But anyways, we just fundamentally disagree here because, and I'm the man. I know how men behave. I've seen it. I've watched men do things at parties, women. It's the Wild West. It's the jungle.
It's the Wild West.
It's an animalistic mentality. I'm just telling you.
People are banging in the streets.
I refuse to believe that Justin Bieber didn't have sex for a year.
I don't.
And I will go to the mat saying that.
Okay, so is what you're saying it's impossible to...
I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's incredibly unlikely. We'll leave it at that.
All right, so let's talk about the Grammys. Grammys were on Sunday. Did you guys actually watch the Grammys?
No.
I caught some highlights. I didn't watch the full show. I'm trying to think of what I was watching Sunday night. It's way...
Literally anything else.
Miracle, Red Dawn.
I actually did watch Miracle this weekend. Great movie. Great movie.
Did you
How
really?
often do you watch Miracle on Ice?
Well, it's on Netflix. I watch it. I watch parts of it weekly. For sure.
Weekly.
I really don't give a shit about award shows.
Yeah.
They're not overly interesting to me.
Yeah.
I know people like to talk about the fancy outfits and things like that. I think that's preposterous. I think the stupidity they wear. I know that you were kind of interested in Cardi B's outfit.
Oh yeah, it's great.
What did you like about it? Because you liked it, right?
Yeah, I loved it.
What did you like about it?
It's like one of those things where like, I don't know, you know when you look at something and it just kind of blows your mind because you didn't expect it at all? Like that was Cardi B's outfit.
What you thought of it as like a work of art? Like an art piece? Or
Kind
how did...
of. I mean, like the whole like tongue-licking thing she did with her boyfriend or husband, Offset.
I think
Are they
she's
married?
married to Offset. But why don't we look that up?
Okay, yeah, we'll get right on it, sir. But that bit was gross. But
Yeah, they like poke tongues.
yeah. But her dress was dope. I really appreciate
You know
it.
who else had a dope dress?
Who?
Anna Kendrick.
Oh, here we go.
Or maybe Mrs. Future Hookstead. We don't know. Anything's possible.
It's anybody's guess. Why? So she wore like a... I
was
thought
like
it was
a
kind of
pink-
weird. It was like pink and
It
it
was
was
kinda
short.
It was kind of weird.
But you liked that.
It's just another sign that Anna Kendrick's got this nice, fun, bubbly personality, and she kind of stole the show. You want to be in the same room as like good people, and she just gives off the vibe. There's a lot of hot people, a lot of models and stuff that like their vibes are terrible, and they're still really hot, and maybe Justin Bieber would still have sex with them. I don't know. But they're just not. They don't have a bubbly personality.
Guillaume, do you think she's attractive?
I don't think that she's attractive. I take issue with the whole girl next door thing. I know you watch Riverdale. I think Betty from Riverdale is a better girl next door.
Oh,
She's the
Lily-
quintessential
Lily-
girl
Do you-
next
Do you know who
door.
we're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Lily Reinhart.
Lily Reinhart is a smoke. That show's starting to get kind of weird.
Is there
by
a
the way.
woman
I
that you
kinda
don't
like
think
it,
is
though.
attractive? Like one,
What?
like is there a woman that you don't think is attractive on this planet? Like,
There,
you just love them all.
Trust me, you're not the first woman to ever float that question before, but there are plenty of them actually.
So, but you've said before to me that you think Anna Kendrick is a 7 on a scale from 1 to 10 is a 7.
7, yeah.
Why such a
On
low
looks, on
rating?
looks.
Why?
She's a 7 on looks. Because she's not supermodel.
But
hot.
she's like famous
she's-
actress hot.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to explain. Men out there listening to this know exactly what
I
I'm
don't think
talking
you
about.
have any logical reasoning for this at all. I
She's
don't.
not Victoria's Secret's angel type hot. But
Where's
she's-
your rubric for giving women
Well,
ratings?
I'm not going to break down the physical features.
I would like to Oh well,
That's-
maybe
that's
not.
what
maybe, maybe I don't want to know.
We don't want to get sued out of existence here. But she's a 7 out of 10 in physical looks, but her personality or what her personality
She has a
seems like,
great personality.
It bumps it up
Yeah.
to higher. So,
So
I mean,
who-
women listening to this, you should know just because you're really hot doesn't mean you're a 10 or a 9 or an 8 because a shitty personality can knock some points off
No,
quickly.
that's totally antithetical to the point of the rating system. The rating system is supposed to be physical looks only.
No,
Who's
no,
a
no,
10
no.
on your scale?
On first impressions, it's physical looks only. But trust me, the more you get to know someone, everything, it's like the more information you're grabbing in, it all plays into the equation. And
Wait a minute. Okay, so if somebody is really nice, they can improve their rating.
They
You
can.
can improve your
You can
rating
improve your
in
rating.
non-physical ways.
yes.
Is this universal to all men?
Of course.
No,
Isn't
it's-
it-
Why?
universal to
Give me a
all
head
people.
shake. Yes or no? Is this true?
I have no opinion on that. I'm not opinion on
He said he has
Very
no
diplomatic.
opinion.
Very
He's trying not to
diplomatic.
pick sides. But
Are you-
because
are you
he's a
saying
man,
that,
This
he knows
can't
I'm
be
right.
true. I
It
think
is
the
true.
rating system is purely carnal, physical attraction.
Yeah, if you
Do
see
you look
some-
at that person? Do you want to make babies?
If you see,
That's the question.
If you see someone from across a bar, that is how it works. But then if you go meet them and they're an absolute bitch, you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'd rather hang out with this fun little 7 over here than this awful 10.
Fun little 7. Hop in my car, fun little 7. Okay, but physically though, does that person stop being hot to you if they have a bad personality, or?
It's not that they stop being hot, it's just I'm less attracted to them. Personality means so much to me.
Yeah.
It does.
Okay.
And so if you have a bad one, I just don't give it, that's bad.
What about, would you guys date someone who is politically opposed to you?
I have dated.
That's totally fine.
Totally fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
And you would, yes.
I have.
Okay,
yes.
let me ask you. So you don't think you could overcome like a political disagreement with like?
It
a
depends.
potential-
Katrina's married, by the way.
I married everybody.
So
But
don't be sending your phone numbers to the DMs of this. They won't be getting returned.
People will be like, who's that old woman in the show with Guillaume and Hookstead? But no, I think that there are certain political differences you can overcome because nobody's going to be exactly the same as you, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's impossible. But I think that you have to have the same fundamental values. Like you have to have the same very basic worldview. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get through hard situations together. And there will be hard situations in any long-term relationship.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not married, so I don't know how you'd fight through a marriage with someone who's politically different than you.
Yeah.
I've dated liberal women, and they're a lot of fun. It's fun to get into some debates with them. They keep you on your toes, keep you frosty.
Keep you frosty.
But I could never date someone who was like over the top, out like pussy hat marching in the street. That would not fly.
Yeah.
I literally could not bring myself to do it. But if they just voted for Obama and were, a left-leaning Democrat, it wouldn't bother me.
It wouldn't be. Now, what if they...
No, I'd question their economics because anyone who knows anything about money knows that voting Democrat doesn't make any sense because you're just going to lose it all.
Would you share your money with a wife who voted for Obama? Or...
I would ask her some basic tax policy questions, and if she didn't understand those, I probably just wouldn't marry her.
How do you feel about dating girls who are like, it's not your money, it's our money?
Jesus.
Are you kidding me? You wouldn't share your money with your wife?
No, I would, but it would be important. First off, let's assume in this situation, because that question only applies in one scenario.
Mm-hmm.
I make way more money than she does, substantially more. And if that's the case,
Most likely case.
If that's the case, when there's big financial decisions that got to be made, is the person who makes 85-90% of the money in the house, yeah, I'll be making the calls, I think. And if the roles were reversed and my movie star wife was making 90% of the income, I'd recognize that. There's nothing that pisses me off more than people who did not earn money but feel it's theirs.
Okay, but what if you marry a woman who purposefully gives up her career to stay home and raise your children? Does she still not get as much say?
That's a little different. If she's staying home to raise the children, that adds a new aspect to it.
Okay, so what if she takes a more flexible but lower paying job so she can also have the flexibility to care for the children? So she's not making as much as you,
in
but...
this situation, I'm assuming there's no kids. This is early on in the marriage.
Why would there be no kids?
This is early on. This is very early on.
Okay.
And I'm making the buco bucks, and she's not.
The buco bucks.
That would be the only time I would be like, I just made $200,000 and you just spent 180 of it. It's like, what the fuck do you think you're doing?
Well, wouldn't you guys set a budget? Like, that would be the smart thing to do, is to work on a budget together.
I feel... I'm going to get myself in so much trouble. My mom's going to flip when she sees this. If you make a ton of money compared to your spouse, I think that needs to be taken into account when decisions are being made because, like anything, the more skin you have in a game, the more the outcomes impact you.
Yeah, but you should marry someone who has the same monetary values as you, so it doesn't really matter what you make.
100%. I agree 100%.
Wait, Guillaume, hold on. What was that expression?
I don't know. Like, why do I have to marry somebody who makes exactly as much as
No,
I
you
do?
don't. No.
The same belief,
The same
financial
values.
beliefs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like the same basic way of looking at money, like more frugal versus more lavish,
Yeah.
I would not want to, again, I've said this to you many times. I'm a big believer in like the cowboy mentality. Own $50 million ranches, dress in blue jeans. It's pretty simple. So I want a woman that would fit in that setting and doesn't need to blow money on like purses and shit.
Okay. Well, what do you think?
I'm like somewhere in the middle. I don't think that I should. Okay, so I want to be frugal with money. So I feel like I should.
I want to be.
Like, I feel like I would need to get married to somebody who's a little bit looser with money. Because like if it was just up to me, I'd never spend money on anything interesting. So like I need someone who's gonna be like, we should go do this awesome thing.
But that's a waste of money then. If you don't spend money on stuff you don't that you're not committed to. Don't spend money on stuff that doesn't return value. You don't
No, but it's like, all right, like, hey, you wanna like we should go take this trip to like Europe. Like I know you don't like spending money, but like it's worth it. You know?
You know what? I have some good advice for you. Where do you want to go in Europe?
What's that place in Greece with like the blue
Maldives?
roofs?
No, that's not in Greece, is it?
Mykonos?
Mykonos.
Okay. Go on Google, type in Mykonos. You just saw it, and I just saved you a lot of money.
Oh my gosh. The only thing you two care about is money.
I'm saying money is important. And if other people are making money, why
No, I
should
care about love. And
one day you'll find love and you'll realize how unimportant money is.
I find love every day I visit the bank and I look at my statements. So
Damn.
The dumbest fucking holiday in the history of the world.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding
Earth Day
you.
is dumbest, but Valentine's Day is close second.
Valentine's Day is the celebration of love, the only real and true thing that we have in this sad, dark world.
It's made by
Wow.
the candy industry and Hallmark.
I don't care who it's made by. It's a celebration of love.
You can eat
It's also made by the
chocolate.
Catholic Church.
You can eat
Saint Valentine's Day.
chocolate on other days of the year and have sex with your
Valentine's Day.
significant other.
Men should love Valentine's Day, and
Wow,
here's why.
we shouldn't.
Here's why. Valentine's Day is the day of atonement for men. We all know you've screwed up over the past year.
very
We
sexist
all
of you.
know. No, I mean, I'm just saying.
In the past 12 months, I have no regrets. Wouldn't change a thing.
Well, any man who has like a little bit of self-awareness will know that he's made mistakes over the past year. And Valentine's Day is the day that you be extra nice and you buy like gifts for girls and you atone for your sins
Okay,
in the
so
relationship.
if I screw up in
I am
March,
seething on the inside right now.
Yes.
Seething.
if I screw up in March, do I just wait an entire year until the next Valentine's Day?
No,
to
but
do
it's just
anything
it's
about
like it's like a basic. It's like Yom Kippur. This is when if you haven't atoned before, you atone today for anything you may have
You want to
missed.
know why women love Valentine's Day? Because they get more free shit and they don't have to do anything for it. That's why women love Valentine's Day.
No, they love Valentine's Day because men are not as good as expressing their feelings all the time, and so it's nice for them to have a scheduled day
and women
where
are
they're
women are
allowed.
so great at expressing.
Women
their-
are very good at expressing their feelings.
No. You might be good at it, but the majority. You're kidding me, right?
Women are fundamentally, biologically, just better at talking than men about what they feel.
Okay, so when a woman comes home, she's all pissed off, and I say, "What's bothering you?" And she's like, "Nothing. I'm fine." You would say that's good at communicating.
That might not be, but
That's 99% of women do that.
But listen, that is just like the first layer, okay? If you give them the opportunity to continue, they will get to a place where they can talk about their feelings.
You know
they
what would
just
happen
need to.
if I was a football coach and the quarterback had an issue and he came up to me and I said, "What's your problem, kid?" And he's like, "Oh, nothing, fine." I'd be like, "Sit your ass down on the bench. When you figure it out, you can come talk to me again."
Let's start with the question. You don't ask a woman, "What's your problem, kid?" Whenever she looks
I
like
wouldn't
she's
say- I wouldn't
upset.
say kid,
you
but-
say like, "Hey, like how are you? How was your day?" Like you
Well, we have
sit
to do the voice
down, you
too.
look her
Welcome.
deep in
This
the
is-
eyes.
This is the problem with America in our generation. Although I don't even know if you and I are in the same generation.
We're not.
We have to wear gloves. We have to wear kids' gloves for when
Yes,
their feelings,
you be
their
extra nice in
feelings-
your relationships. There's
their
nothing wrong.
feelings. We gotta handle them. That's so. I hold women to the highest standard possible. I assume that they can take. That they don't need to be treated with kids' gloves.
Oh my gosh. You should be nice to the woman that you
I am
love.
always nice to women.
This is what's wrong with our generation. This is what's wrong with our
Your
generation.
generation.
Both of ours, running around and it's having just like it's impossible to not sleep with any attractive person who offers you the opportunity. But when it comes to your actual relationship, the way to solve problems is going, "What's your problem, kid?" That is what's wrong with our generation.
I ask women a very pointed, if they are complaining about something, like, "Okay, you want me to fix it?" And
Yeah.
then they always do the dumb.
No,
"Oh,
because
I
you're
don't
talking about it
know.
wrong. You're
I don't
talking.
know. Oh. Okay, so then I fix it. And then, like, I never asked you to do that.
You-
Well, then don't bring the problem to my
Oh
attention.
my goodness, Hookstead. You're so wrong. You're not talking correctly.
Okay, listen
Men
up.
and women talk differently, okay? Men want to solve women's problems.
No.
Don't.
We want
don't.
to solve problems in general.
Yes.
We're hardwired as problem solvers.
Exactly. And you take that approach to women. Don't do that. When they're talking about their problems, they don't want your help. They just want you to sit there like a lump on a log and let them talk.
Okay.
And just go,
That is.
Like
But
every
what
once
if
in
they're
a while.
saying stuff that's just flat out incorrect?
You just let them say it.
No,
they're
don't.
working through
No, you
they're
don't.
working
That's
through their
bad.
feelings.
No.
They're working through the process. They're figuring out what they think. That's how they process information.
If I go to the doctors and I'm like, I think I have a broken arm, but I'm not sure, and the doctor's like, oh, you think I should take a look? You want to get an X-ray of it? Hey, why don't we try to fix and solve that problem? You'd be like, yeah. Tell me more about that.
You're starting
Just
off
tell
with
me more about that.
starting off with a fallacious premise. Going to your husband or a boyfriend to talk about your day or something that's upsetting you is not the same as going to a doctor.
I don't mind. I don't mind. We're actually now we're getting spun up. I don't mind venting. What I mind greatly is when problems are brought to my attention, and then when something gets done about it, then that becomes a whole problem. If you don't want a problem to be fixed, don't tell me about it. It's that simple.
No, but that's
and
not.
Secondly, don't vent about false information. Like I have never in 26 years of life allowed people to just have fake beliefs. They can have things I disagree with, but if they are operating on a premise of false information, whether they're my girlfriend, a family member, a close friend, I'm not just gonna be like, oh yeah, tell me more about that.
But if they're
Tell me more
talking
about that bullshit that's not real.
If they're talking about their feelings, that's not false information.
That's fine, but if their feelings are based off events and or actions that are not real, then
you have to let them work through it. That's how women work. You have to let them work through it. And they work through that by talking and sharing and by communicating.
Running around
Don't
with
fix
false
it.
beliefs.
Women will hate you forever if you don't let them just talk about their feelings.
It's fine to talk about your feelings. I'm not saying you can't talk about your feelings. What I'm saying is women have, and some men do this too, I'm sure, they have a tendency to generate beliefs, thoughts, and feelings based off information that is false, and then when confronted with the real information, they refuse to change their mind.
Maybe you could find a higher caliber woman if you could deny the ones that were just hot, offering you the opportunity for sex. If you turn those away and you let the wheat separate from the chaff? Is that
correct.
Yeah.
It's the wheat
The chaff. Let that all separate, and then you would find some women who actually are capable of communicating their feelings in a mature manner, and then you wouldn't mind sitting and listening.
I believe you 100%. I believe you 100% when you say that. But I also like to live on the edge, so danger, my friend.
Okay, but I just want to acknowledge that I'm right about maybe a sex fast is a great idea.
You are not a sex fast, but you are right that there could probably be a better selection process.
Yeah.
Let's not get into that now. Let's get back to that. This is why I hate Valentine's Day. The whole idea that men have to repent for the things we've done. What are the things women have done in the past year? What are women doing on Valentine's Day
women
to
should
atone for what they've done?
Well, women should apologize for things when they do things. Let me answer the question.
Why does the day have to be about atonement?
Let me answer the question. Okay,
Sorry,
so
you got me all fired up.
women should apologize when they do things wrong. Absolutely. They should, you know what I mean? They should be kind in relationships too. But women on the whole tend to be better at committing to relationships and abiding by basic courtesies in the relationship than men on the whole. Which is not to say that, some women aren't jerks and they cheat or whatever. A lot of women do. But I'm just saying on the whole, women are better at committing to relationships and just being good in them.
I might shock you here, but I actually agree with you.
Oh no, you agree.
Oh, you guys
You
did it.
agree with me. It's a good day.
Just saying
it's a
that
magical Valentine's Day.
It doesn't change the fact that at least a lot of women that I can only speak from women I've known in 26 years of life, they get a piece of information and it doesn't matter what evidence you bring to their attention, their opinion's not changing. That is not good.
Well,
and you should not allow them. That should not go unchecked.
It depends on the circumstance. But if they are just communicating about their feelings, you should allow them the space to just get it all out. And then once they've had a chance to process it and just get it out on the table and think about and figure out what they think. That's what a lot of women are doing. They're just trying to figure out what they think by talking about it. Then she can approach you about fixing the problem. But you have to give that space first.
What if the word vomit that she's trying to get out is based on false information?
Then you just have to let her get it out, and she might realize that when she's done. But you have to let her get it out.
See, this is the difference between men and women, because if someone brings me information that I know to not be correct, I can't let that go unanswered.
This is the difference between married people and unmarried people. Men and women communicate differently.
What
That's
are you
like,
saying? If I'm married, I'm just supposed to let stuff slide?
no,
That's
if you're
what you said.
married,
Thank you, G.
you learn how to communicate with the opposite sex more effectively.
What you're-
You have to.
What you're saying is let lies slide to a
No,
certain point.
no, not let lies slide. Let a woman talk and figure out what she thinks before you start trying to solve the problem. Because men and women communicate differently. Like, it's a totally different reaction if I ask a man, can you take out the trash versus would you take out the trash? Totally different. In my mind, could you take out the trash seems
It's
like
the exact same thing.
no, but it's different because could you take out the trash is like it's questioning ability inherently. It's questioning ability. Would you take out the trash is questioning willingness.
I feel like
and
you're
most
talking
guys
about a child. Like,
Yeah,
an adult
no,
would
I'm not talking
interpret
about a
that-
child. Well, men are simple creatures by nature. Women are a little more complex. But I'm just saying that there's a different way that the sexes communicate. So it's important to allow women that space to just talk about their feelings and get it out. But okay, so Valentine's Day, you know, we can just agree to disagree on that. Valentine's Day is a wonderful holiday.
No.
And
The fact that you think that there needs to be a day on the calendar where you have like a nice dinner and you give gifts and then you bang each other is absurd.
I'm not saying that you have to go to dinner. I'm just saying it's nice to acknowledge, like, this is a day that we celebrate being in love.
You can
And
do
You
that
can do that
every day.
literally any day.
You can do that every day.
But
you
it's-
should be doing it every day.
But yes, but it's nice to have a special day for it, like where you both are focused on it, and it's also like it's a
Your
nice.
anniversary.
It's nice. It's good to have more than one day.
Sunday at church.
It's
I mean,
nice.
There's regular.
It's nice for guys to be able to make women happy by giving them little things. Like it doesn't have to be much,
That sounds
could do
very,
that
that sounds
whenever.
very materialistic.
but like not. But little things as simple as like writing a letter or like a card, like just say Happy Valentine's Day, like I love you.
I could do that tomorrow. It doesn't have to be Valentine's Day.
Well, it doesn't, but it's just nice that there's a day on the calendar that is for that to help you remember to do it.
I could not disagree with you more.
Don't. That's sad.
I'm
That's
bucking.
sad.
No. Taking
You know
part,
what's extremely soy boy is sitting
Oh.
at home alone on Valentine's Day when you
Who said anything about being
could be
alone?
locking down a broad, taking her back to your house, marrying her, and making babies. That could be your Valentine's Day.
You were doing well there up until you got to the point where you said marry her. Everything before
That's locking
that,
her down.
Everything
That's
before
locking
that
down.
was interesting to me. But then you kind of just took it too far. So.
Oh, it's afraid of commitment. What are we
Oh,
gonna
trust
say?
me, I've been accused of that once or twice too, my good friend. So
This is your guys' problem. This is why you hate Valentine's
this will
Day
be
because
very
you're.
generalized.
This is why I hate Valentine's Day because you're cynical. Because
real.
you're
That's
cynical,
fine.
I'm real. No, I'm realistic.
which is a euphemism for cynical.
Okay, well,
fine.
the world ain't all sunshine and roses.
But I'm just saying that like being in a long-term relationship with one person is good for people and it makes you more optimistic.
You start disagreeing
and you
with
start
that.
to
I'm not
and you
disagreeing with
appreciate things like Valentine's Day when you are in a long-term
No. I
I
relationship.
don't appreciate made-up holidays by Hallmark and the candy industry.
You don't appreciate because you think that you have to be super lavish and you have to like buy hundreds of dollars worth of flowers, which is not true.
It's not even that. It's just like you don't need like okay, this stuff does not need to be dictated to you.
Whatever. Anyway, the bottom line is everyone should get married. So that's my parting message. Do you have any final words, gentlemen?
No, none.
You know what? I'll say
You
this.
has no
You got
words.
me way more fired up today than I thought you would. Way more fired up.
I have that effect on people.
I'm still actually, when these cameras get turned off, it's still going to be
What are you
coming
gonna do?
out.
Like beat me up? Like
No,
follow
but
me back to my
I
desk and
now-
take my lunch money?
You're giving me PTSD. I'm having flashbacks like it's Vietnam circa 1969, and I'm just. I'm taking a walk down memory lane thanks to some things you triggered during this conversation,
God.
and I'm
I feel like
26 hard years of life.
if
Katrina.
this were a movie, I feel like it would be The Wizard of Oz, and I'm Dorothy, and you're Scarecrow, and we're gonna Scarecrow needed
No,
courage,
you're
right?
thinking of
You're
Tin
Tin
Man,
Man. You're Tin Man, and we're gonna find you a heart, Hookstead. Don't you worry.
All right,
we'll
well,
find
see.
you a heart.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thanks for watching, you guys. Come back next week. We'll see you then.